Welcome back, folks. Today we're diving into some pretty explosive stuff about Trump's actions, the Epstein scandal, and even election rigging for 2026.
I'm all ears. So, what's the most striking claim here?
Well, the conversation centers around, Trump allegedly entering panic mode as the Epstein files scandal deepens. There's talk of a mysterious billion-dollar Qatari jet gift and even claims of a rigged 2026 midterm election.
Yep, that's big, really big.
Right, and what makes it even more interesting is that former Trump administration officials, including Olivia Troy and Miles Taylor, are on the panel discussing these cover up tactics.
So, we're not just talking hearsay. These are people who are on the inside, correct?
Exactly, they're bringing first hand insights. It's almost like they're saying, look, Trump's been desperate, pulling all sorts of tricks, from a billion-dollar bribe like gift to manipulating the midterms. That's wild.
So, this Qatari jet gift, are we talking about like an actual bribe?
Yes, it's likened to a billion-dollar gift that's meant to sway things. It's presented as evidence of how high the stakes are and how far the cover ups might go.
Incredible. It sounds almost cinematic, like something out of a thriller.
Exactly. And that cinematic feel isn't accidental. The panel also notes, with a sort of urgency, that Trump is scheming for the 2026 midterms. Apparently, rigging isn't just a past tactic, but a future blueprint.
Hold on, rigging the midterms? That's quite an allegation.
Yeah, it's a dramatic claim suggesting that even as the Epstein scandal digs deeper, there's already maneuvering to tip electoral scales.
Yeah.
It paints a pretty troubling picture.
And I guess with these panelists, the stakes just feel super high.
Correct. Jim Acosta leads the discussion, bringing former officials into the mix who are all shouting about Trump's desperate cover up tactics.
That's a powerhouse lineup. So, what's behind these tactics?
It's like, there's this alleged interplay. On one side, you've got the attempts to hide the Epstein files at all costs, and on the other, there's a suggestion that the current Justice Department is engaging in revenge
Yeah.
campaigns. Pretty intense.
Revenge campaigns? That's a heavy claim. How exactly is that framed?
The panel suggests that the DOJ might be using these tactics to undermine critics or retaliate politically, almost as if they're flipping the script in this whole scandal.
I see. So that ties into the idea of manipulating the narrative, right?
Absolutely. It's like the whole strategy is built on distraction, keeping the public's focus away from the Epstein files by creating a massive media storm around election rigging and bribery. Very calculated.
And then there's also mention of Elise Labor discussing the Gaza genocide allegations. What's her role in all this?
Yeah, that part almost shifts the scene to another layer of controversy. Elise Labor, host of the Cosmopolitics podcast, brings up allegations about the Gaza genocide that are causing major international pressure, especially on Netanyahu's government.
That sounds like another potential flashpoint, adding to the already sizzling mix of claims.
Yup, exactly. It broadens the implications, suggesting that this isn't just a domestic scandal, it's tied into global political instability too.
So, we have Trump's panic mode over Epstein, alleged rigging of midterms, a billion-dollar bribery angle, and international issues like the Gaza allegations. That's a full-blown storm.
Indeed, it's like a perfect storm. It's like, well, controversies raining down from every direction. It really does.
But don't you think some of these claims might be a bit exaggerated for impact?
That's a fair point. There's always the risk that sensational headlines are, amplified for media clout. However, coming from former insiders, these claims require a serious look, even if some parts might be hyped up.
Right, there's nuance. Exaggeration aside, the idea of rigging an election is a major red flag, no matter how you slice it.
Absolutely. And even if certain elements are overblown, the notion that Trump would go to such lengths, from stashing away damaging Epstein files to engineering future elections, raises huge questions. It's deeply unsettling.
I mean, isn't it risky to mix tangibly verifiable claims with more speculative ones?
For sure, it is a mix that demands critical examination. But the consistency in the narrative from these former officials gives it a certain credibility despite the drama.
I get that. And the integration of media platforms like YouTube certainly makes these claims spread faster.
Exactly. The digital space is amplifying these controversies. The reported video, with its 25,222 views and rapid buzz, is a perfect example of how quickly this is catching fire.
Right, social media becomes both the arena and the amplifier in these scenarios.
Yup, and it means that even a single explosive claim can quickly influence public perception, regardless of how deeply it's examined. That's the nature of today's media.
So, stepping back a bit, what does all this mean for the political landscape moving forward?
Essentially, if even a part of this holds water, it suggests that the established political order is being seriously manipulated. Whether it's hiding forensic details of a scandal or rigging votes, it forces everyone to question the integrity of those in power.
And that could shift public trust dramatically, right?
Exactly. It's like opening a door to a whole new level of political skepticism. And honestly, it makes you wonder, are we looking at systematic corruption or isolated incidents? It's a tough call.
But if it is systematic, then the implications for the 2026 midterms are enormous.
Spot on. There's a sense that these maneuvers are not just reactions but part of a premeditated strategy to control narrative outcomes. That's what makes this so explosive.
And that ties back to how every small detail, the billion-dollar gift, the DOJ tactics, becomes a piece of this larger, disturbing puzzle.
Yes, indeed. Each of these elements, no matter how individually sensational, builds up a broader picture of political gamesmanship at its highest stakes.
Right.
That's what we're really grappling with here.
It almost feels like a real-life political thriller unfolding before our eyes.
Exactly that. And while we're compelled to keep an open mind, it's crucial to demand hard evidence and remain critical of unchecked claims.
Absolutely. And until then, we simply have to keep asking ourselves, what is the truth behind these explosive allegations?
Precisely. And regardless of where one stands, this mix of insider testimonies combined with digital amplification is a wake-up call to the state of our political discourse. No doubt about it.
And it forces us to consider the real impact these narratives might have, especially on voters and public trust in the system.
Absolutely. There's no easy path out of this maze of allegations, but it does remind us that transparency and accountability must be non-negotiable pillars in any government.
Right, and while some may argue that these are just political theatrics, the stakes here suggest it's more than that.
Exactly. The very fact that such claims are being leveled by insiders signals that there's something deeply amiss. It
Right.
certainly shakes your faith in the status quo.
I mean, even if parts of these accusations are exaggerated, the overall picture is one of profound disruption within the system.
Yep, and that disruption isn't just about one scandal. It's about how current political dynamics can be shifted by powerful narratives.
And it really puts a spotlight on the need for independent investigations and media literacy.
Absolutely. As viewers, we need to be both skeptical and vigilant, digging deeper than just the surface level drama. Staying informed is key.
It sure is. And as this story unfolds, it'll be interesting to see how public opinion evolves with these revelations.
Definitely. We're at a critical juncture where every new piece of information could either confirm or challenge the prevailing narratives.
And it reminds us all to question, to investigate, and to not just accept the sensational headlines at face value.
Right. So as we keep our eyes peeled, it's clear that the intersection of scandal, media, and politics is as volatile as ever.
Absolutely. Thanks for this deep dive. It's been a fascinating and thought-provoking discussion.